You're welcome back to the Gavel. We'll continue with the conversation with the Senate President, still focusing on the amendment of a 1999 Constitution and examine issues of true federalism and resource control. Now, how do you explain to, let's say, a young secondary school student that we are a federation but not operating a truly federal system?
Well, I think we'll get there. Definitely, there are concerns. I mean, there are issues that we're not there completely. But to me, I honestly believe that sometimes we also do get it wrong, that we think it is a system that will operate, that will correct some of the lapses or some of the defects or in administration and governance. And probably not. I mean, even if you do put in work a truly federating system, it doesn't mean that the youths who don't have jobs will still not have jobs. Those who have issue of poverty will still not have issue of poverty. I think as leadership, we must take blame. We must. I think there's this thing now that we think that is a solution to all the problems of the country. I differ. I'm not saying it might not improve, but there are many reasons.
But these are foundational issues.
They are foundational issues, but I think they are coming at a time where the challenges that every Nigerian is going through now is making us question the foundation. It's not because the foundation was that bad. When the economy was booming, even though we had those challenges, it was not life-threatening. It appears now as if those conditions are of great concern. So the point I'm making is that, yes, we will look at those issues. We will look at those issues with everybody's buy-in. But as we address that, I think there are other issues that need to be addressed that go beyond those issues of federation.
We're still on this, the issue of our foundation. Resource control has been a major topic of discourse over the years, and some have blamed it for the poor performance in states. As a former governor, some have asked, why wasn't this constitutional amendment, why was the issue of resource control not looked at? This is a golden opportunity. Why wasn't it looked at?
Well, as I said to you, I said the constitutional amendment we took this time are those issues where there have been general consensus. It's not that this exercise review looked at the Constitution and said, okay, let's review the entire Constitution. We couldn't achieve that in 1 year. What we did was that there are some areas that have been agreed upon where there's been consensus. So what we did was take those ones where there are less disagreements on and see how we could pass it. That's what this exercise has done. This is not just the only request that have come for constitutional review. I mean, there are other costs like resource control and many others. But some of those have not we don't have consensus on them.
Now, still on the issue of constitutional amendment, one of the major amendments was the reduction of age qualification for those running for the Senate, House of Representatives, State Houses of Assembly. Now, some have said, and that was the popular not too young to run bill. It has been hailed, but some have also questioned what is the relevance of the passage of, of this amendment for not too young to run, when most Nigerians cannot afford party nominations. It's one thing to pass this to reduce the age. It's another thing for young Nigerians to even actually take part in this process.
Well, they can take part. We've also allowed for independent candidature anyway. But I think it's good to go a long way because you're opening the space. You're allowing, the younger ones to also participate.
So we open the space on one hand, and then we make it really, really expensive for these young people to even pick up nomination forms.
We don't make it expensive because we will look at the Electoral Act will be looked to address that, and I'm sure there will be amendments to the Electoral Act that will make it easier for young people to participate.
Now, another major issue people found was the shooting down of the 35% affirmative action. That was really, really disappointing for some people. Why did that happen? I
think, you see, it's unfortunate that you're not reporting what I think was an achievement. What was an achievement, at least in the Senate, was that we got an agreement when it was clear that it was not going to pass, because some people who were for affirmative action in allowing 35% gender, but they had issues about it being in the Constitution. So we now reach an understanding, if we are following the procedures, where we said, okay, if that's the case, let's get an understanding from the Senate that the gender bill, when it comes, is going to have the 35% and you should get the support of the Senate. And we had an understanding. And that's what it's at that point that was stepped down. But what did we achieve? If that general bill comes through and we keep people to the agreement and we get that 35%, that is a great achievement. Even most of the countries that we're copying, who have been years into democracy, don't have it in their constitution.
The process has virtually almost been completed in the National Assembly. It's going to be taken to the states. Are you confident that the states would do the needful and pass the bulk of this recommendation?
I'm confident that I will score 90-something%.
Where is this confidence coming from?
There's been a lot of consultation. The last session in Lagos that the Constitutional Review Committee of both the House and the Senate, they met, they worked together as a team. That's why if you see what was passed in the House, what was passed in the Senate, I think it was just one bill or two that were different. Otherwise, by and large, members of the speakers on different stages were present. So they've seen the document. They know what is coming to them. Now, why I'm saying 90-something, because even when you get there, I mean, there'll be some that might fall on the wayside, but I'm confident that we'll get about 90%. Now, there might be a few very delicate ones, sensitive ones to do local government autonomy. There are three mainly: local government autonomy and state of assembly autonomy. I think those are two major ones. I'm hopeful that both will pass.
You failed in the 7th Assembly?
Yeah, I'm hopeful, but even if it does, I'm hopeful at least one will pass. At least one. So I'm starting with one. If I can get both, I'll be happy. But if I have 29 bills and I can get 27 through, I think I haven't done or we haven't done too badly.
Now, in relation to the EFCC, there are reports that some senators have cases to answer with the EFCC. Can you defend the charge that the Senate is going after the EFCC because of this? There's
a lot of misperception, misrepresentation. This is a Senate that in the last 2 weeks has passed 3 anti-corruption bills. Whistleblower bill we've passed the protest witness protection bill, mutual legal assistance. NFIU came in, we supported. So we are supporting the institution. Now, if in your definition, EFCC is same as Magu, well, I see it different. I mean, these are institutions, and whether we confirm Magu or don't confirm does not mean we will not support the institution. Now, if people who want to report that to mean that it's unfortunate, the non-confirmation of Magu was not our making. You know that if the leadership did not want to confirm Magu, the last day we bring Magu for confirmation is Wednesday on a live program. You know that shows the sincerity of National Assembly that, look, Magu, here, come for confirmation. Let the public listen to your confirmation. If we had some agenda or we had preconceived mind that we didn't want, you know that those confirmations come around 1 p.m. on a Thursday. And where you can manipulate, the attendance is low, and we'll just announce to the public, oh, guess what, we just finished screening, which you didn't see, and this is the result. So, first of all, let me discard the fact that anybody has any, if we did, there is no way we'll have brought Magu on a live program on a Wednesday. No way. So, secondly, you hear things like, oh, it's because they have cases in EFCC. Most of the cases were former governors who have been former governors maybe 12, 13 years ago. Magu had nothing to do with their case. Magu was not the one that brought them to EFCC. Most of them are in court. Magu, even if Magu likes you, can Magu go to the court and withdraw your case? I mean, but you hear all this kind of, I can be someone that can even testify for Magu. I remember in the time of Jonathan's administration, that some of us, because of what we stood for, were sent to EFCC. And I remember when I was sent to EFCC, one of the people they sent me to was to Magu. And that time, they wanted Magu to revive a case of over 10 years. And Magu told them point blank that, listen, you're not going to use me. So I can testify the fact that, but all this is just the noise for those who have vested interest in what I don't know.
Now, this is where we draw the curtains on this week's edition of The Gavel. If you have any views on any of the issues discussed, please email us on thegavel@channelstv.com. Thank you for staying with us and see you again next week.